Hello again and welcome back to another sound design tutorial. Today we're just going to be looking at bullet impacts, just as a quick follow up from the last video I made. So as you can see here, I've got a few recordings together. This is just meant to be the sound of a bullet pinging off like a metal beam or just some metal object. So let's have a listen here. Sounded pretty good. So the way I've done this is I've split it up into three. I've got a sound, a low sort of impact sound to sell the power behind the bullet. I've got the material, which you could probably swap out for, say, if you wanted the bullet to hit maybe wood, you could swap that out for a wood noise. At the moment, I've just got some sound of metal. I'll talk about that in a sec. And the ricochet sound, the sound of the bullet sort of moving away, bouncing away from whatever it's hit. Cool, so the first sound is the impact. Let's have a quick listen on its own. Now all this really is actually just a sample I took of a kick drum. As you can see, it was recorded with a Beta 52A. So all that does is provide some low end for the sound. We're not really after the sound of an actual kick drum. We're not trying to, mold the perfect kick. We just want a bit of impact. And the kick drum works quite well. And all I've done is just compressed it a bit, added a bit of lows, and yeah, not too much to say about that really. So the next one is the material. So if we have a listen, all this is I think all I took was like a metal rod and just sort of hit my oven actually. I just gave it a whack and it gave quite a nice metal ring. So if we have a look over here, we can see I've done some pitch shifting quite heavily just to make this sound a bit more heavier. If we have a listen without it, sounds too light. So I've just done that, and again, just some compression and EQ. I don't know why that's there, but yeah, not too much to do with the EQ. I just took some of the lows out. You can EQ this however you want. And like I said earlier, maybe if you wanted a bullet to pierce through wood, you could have the sound of maybe a board snapping, something to replace this. This is just whatever material the bullet would have hit. And the last one is the ricochet. Now this is the most interesting. Now to get that sort of zippy, fast movement, I've actually used the Waves Doppler plugin. I haven't used this plugin. I've only just recently got this plugin, so I'm still kind of learning how it works. But all I've done for this is I've loaded up one of the presets, a super fast flyby. Took the reverb off, didn't want that. I gave it a weird shimmer, that didn't really fit. I turned the pitch down a little bit, turned the pan down quite a bit. And yeah, it worked quite well for the bullet sound. If I play it without the Doppler, we can hear that it's just basically the same as this. It's just another recording of the same surface, that oven I've hit with the metal rod. But with it, it gives a nice sort of zip for the bullet. Cool. If you wanted to, you could probably take the pan out. I've left a little bit in, but without the pan, it sort of centers it a bit. Maybe if you don't want the bullet to fly or the sound to just shoot to one side of the speakers or one side of the headphones, you can do that. If you want to, if I take the gain off, you can switch the direction of the bullet. So if I press this arrow and play it again for you, we now get it from the other way. And yeah, that's all there really is to say about that. So these three together combine to make our bullet impact sound. I've also just loaded up the gunshot that we made last time, just to sort of put them all together and see what they sound like. So it sounds pretty good. Yeah, so like I said earlier, what you could do if maybe you wanted a different material, switch the material out for, whatever the bullet's hitting. For the ricochet, you probably could get away with just using metal because it gives a quite nice high-pitched ring. If you needed multiple of these, what I'd suggest you do is bounce out a few like this with just some tweaks. So for example, you might want to tweak the pitch of the material and the ricochet. You wouldn't probably want to bother with the impact so much because it's quite low-endy. Do that, maybe EQ the ricochet a bit differently. Use some different sounds. Like I've been kind of simple with it in that I've just used the same sort of material, mess around with different sounds, and you just basically put them together. With the ricochet, you kind of want the sound to come in sort of as this line. If I start again, if I play for you as the Dopplers on the screen, you'll see this little dot will move from one side of this line to the other, and as it does, as it reaches the middle, the sound will play, and then as it shoots off, we'll hear the shill kind of noise, and that's kind of what you want. So you want to aim it for this dot here, which is our sort of guide, I suppose. You want that to land in the middle. So let's play it and watch it. There, so you can see as it reached the middle, the noise came in, and then we got the effect we were after. So you can probably mess around with maybe different settings on here. Maybe different lengths as well. You can adjust the length of the track, or how fast it takes for the dot to get to the center. So again, just mess around with them, alter them a bit, and then put them together. And then you can get some, if you say you've got a fully automatic gun and you want quite a lot of bullets pinging everywhere, you could do that. Probably wouldn't maybe want to use the Ricochet every time, because it might sound a bit too messy. But experiment and see what you can come up with. So yeah, that's all there is really to it. So yeah, I've been Henry Scott. Check out the rest of my videos on this channel. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Hopefully I'll see you again in another video. Thank you.